Hello. I just wanted to look at my risk and reward here. So this is not risk reward per trade. This is risk reward per day. So I know my risk reward in the trade. I have many trades, about 7 or 8. Actually, per session. I usually have 2 sessions a day. So like 16, 15 trades a day. It's a lot. I know I'm highly active. But basically, what we need to look at is what's our risk adjusted returns? That's what we're looking at. So if we can just look at this, these are the days. I'm just going to put this in a new spreadsheet here. Zoom in on this thing. This is what we're dealing with here. My picture's there, so we're going to move it right there. Okay. There we go. So this is how it's all negative, right? This is how much drawdown could have happened. Okay. This is how much reward we ended with. Okay. We end at, once we get to 20 apples, it's over. And I usually want to risk no more than 8 apples on a day. So as you can see here, green, green, actually 8 apples in a session. So this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Okay, these are all green. This means I abided by the daily loss limit, the session loss limit. I adhered to it. Now, I mean, these are a little bit more than 8, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. I stopped trading, right? That's adherence. These are days that I did not adhere to it. All these different sessions, I did not adhere to it. These are red. Okay. Right now we've got 6 out of the total 14. 43% adherence rate to session loss limit. Okay, we've got a 43% adherence rate to the session loss limit. This is important because we're not following our rules. If we can't follow our rules, what's going on here? And I'll tell you the reason why I'm not following my rules, because on the days that I do not follow my rules, what happens? Okay, this day I went over and beyond the risk tolerance. This does not mean I went negative 130 apples. These are all units of an apple is worth $25 if you really want to compute it to US dollars. But I didn't go 130.2 apples down. If you look at what happened this day, now 130, this is date 328 afternoon session. So let's go to 328. This is my ledger. So 328. This is 328. Afternoon session is from here to here. That's the afternoon session. Now, if you can see here, this column, it doesn't have headers because I know the headers already. This is it. And I want this ledger down here. This is my auto updates based on my profit loss during the session. So I see here I went negative 7.2 apples. You won't probably be able to see it. But I went negative 7.2 apples. Then I took a 4.8 apple risk. I lost the 4.8. So I'm negative 12. And then I took a 4.4 apple risk, and I got out a pivot in the zone of 1.6 apples. Then I took a 6.8 apple risk, and I lost that. So now I'm down 20.4 apples. Okay. Guess what I did next? I took a 50 apple risk. Guess what happened? I lost a portion of that. I said, I got out early. It was going against me. I got out early because I thought it was just going to go against me. So what happened was I lost. Now I'm legitimately down 57 apples. Okay? I'm down 57 apples. Then I take a 46 apple risk. I happen to win. That's the difference here. I take a 46 apple risk, and then I happen to win. So I don't actually go down from 57 apples down another 46 apples. But in my ledger, I am. In my ledger, I am saying that I went down that far. Because who knows, it could have lost. If it could have lost, how much would I have lost? That's the risk-adjusted return. Just because that one trade, that big trade, happened to go in my favor does not mean we didn't have risk on the line there. So we are including all the risk. We're including max risk. This is max risk that could have happened, that could have occurred to achieve the reward that I got throughout the day. This is on a day-by-day basis. This is actually a session-by-session basis, but whatever, same thing. It's not by trade basis. It's on the session or on the day. It's actually on the session. And sometimes I have one session a day, sometimes I have two, dependent on my schedule. But so this was a bad day. You can see that. The risk-adjusted return was horrible. We had too much risk on that day to achieve what's our reward? Break even. We got to break even. But we could have been down 130 apples. We could have. So it's really important to know that. How far do I have to get down to be able to get up? Now, again, this one was a great day. Only went down a possible risk of 2.8 apples. That means I probably didn't lose at all that day, because maybe 2.8 apple risk, and I won. Because, again, this is possible risk. This is not actual what I get down to. This is, I could be down this much if I happen to lose on the trade. Negative 8.8 apples, that's fine. Negative 17.6, that's fine. I mean, that's not fine, but that's not horrible. That's not a loss of an account, right? Negative 12 apples. It took negative 12 apples. Yes, it's past 8 apple daily loss limit, but I ended the day at 23.2 apples positive, right? So let's take a look at this positive number. What's the session? What's the sum of this? Let's take the sum. I want to see the sum first and foremost. We're up 143 apples. Obviously, we're doing something right, correct? We're up money. We're up a significant amount of money. So up 143 apples during this string of events, string of sessions here. But the thing is, our risk that we're taking on these, we're risking 17 for that 7. We're risking 12 for that 20. We're risking 27 for that negative 5.7. Yes, we recovered from that loss. Negative 31 apples possible risk, but we ended up winning 21 and closing. Negative 8.87. This one, it seems to be on average, and you can see this increasing here at the end here. So 26, 37, 44 today. All of them achieving 20, about 20 apples, right? Our goal is to get 20 apples a day. All right, that's our goal. But the thing is, we're finding data that says how much risk does it take to achieve those 20 apples a day? And we're seeing that the risk is variable right now, but we see this big number here. This is 130. We could have lost a big amount that day. We have to understand that. We see it in front of us. It's data. We could have lost that much that day. In fact, probably more than that, because guess what we would have done? We would have kept on trading. If we went actually down that day, let's take a look back at it. Let's say we lost this. Okay, we lost that 50 apple trade. We lost 36.6 apples because we got out early. Guess what we did on the next one? We risked 46 apples. What if we had lost? Okay, we happen to win. We win 20 apples. Now we're back up to negative 37 apples on the day. Guess what my next trade was? A 12 apple trade. I lost. Now I'm down 49.6. I'm down 50 apples. What did I do then? An 80 apple risk. Look, we happened to win 30 apples in that, back down to negative 18 apples. That's really good, right? But the thing is, if we added negative 50 apples, what we're at right now during the day, plus an additional 80 apples, that's a negative 130 apples negative. Realized profit loss, negative 130 apples. At that point in time, what would we have done? Would we risk another 80 apples? Probably. It seems like our risk, look at the risk column. It goes 4.8, 4.4, 6.8, 50, 46, 12, 80, 54. These are mega risks. Remember, these are huge risks. You can see the yellow lights here. These are yellow lights that say that risk is way off right now. It's way off what it should be. And we can see it should be a red card, but it's yellow. I do it based on yellow, whatever. Essentially, you see that this day, March 28th, what did it end at? Yes, it ended at break even. But that was not a break even day, man. That was a very risky day. And that needs to be included in the equation, okay? You know, the profit loss ledger that only shows, your daily loss and daily gain, it's only going to show this column. It's only going to show the reward column. It's only going to show what you actually closed the day at. They didn't understand. They didn't see this gigantic risk here to get that to be break even. Now remember, the whole reason why I implemented a daily loss limit is because you can never get down on 130 apples, right? You can never get down 130 apples if you can only lose 8 apples. So the idea is, how can we do this? Where can we set our daily loss limit in a place where we can achieve as many 20s as possible and continue winning? Because this is a winning graph. This is really winning. It's profit of 143 apples in how many sessions? In 14 sessions. That's average. No, that's not right. That's average of 10 apples a session, including losses. So it's on average, we're going to make a decent amount, right? But that's with unlimited risk. It seems that way because I haven't been really taking, my 43% adherence rate to the session loss limit, man. And I don't think I've convinced myself enough to be like, yo, you got to take your daily loss limit. But I see now that, hey, my daily loss limit should be 50. All of these to achieve the 23 apples here, the 21 apples here, the 30 apples here, the 21 apples here, the 20 apples here, the 20 apples here, all of them, the maximum loss that I would ever incur is negative 50 apples. Not in a trade, in the whole session combined, adding up cumulative, I would never be able to go less than 50 apples. I could still achieve the positive 20 apples reward consistently. So I think we're gathering important data. And I just think that this 130 mark really scares me, because what would have happened if I lost those 80 apples on that one trade? I was risking 80 apples on a trade, dude. Hello? We're done at 20 apples in a trade. The adherence rate to that, guess what the adherence rate to that is? 100%, gentlemen. 100% adherence rate to that. I love to see adherence rates of 100%, but I can tell you right now, it's getting increasingly difficult to have an adherence rate to my daily loss limit of 8, my session loss limit of 8 apples. That's nothing. It's just so small that I just want to keep trading. I want to keep trading, not because of boredom, not because of bullshit. It's because this is my job, and let me do my job. Get off my back. And I've successfully been doing that. I've been saying, get off my back, daily loss limit. Get off my back. Let me do it. Let me do what I need to do best. And I was achieving it. 20 apples here, 20 apples here. Let's highlight them. These are big. These are substantial wins. These are all big 20 apple wins. Not this one's 15, but you see, and then we only closed -8 apples, -7 apples, -8 apples, -5 apples. We really haven't closed the day less than, or the session less than 8 apples risk. So hypothetically, from the daily loss limit balance sheet, no one would know that we're going above our limits. But that's not the point. We're not adhering to that. We're seeing through and piercing the veil on all of what is happening and occurring in our trading strategy and system. And we see that our adherence rate is shit. It's absolutely shit. This is a D- adherence rate or less. This is a fucking F adherence rate. We see the daily gain limit adherence rate is an A+. That's good. So you can see your left foot, can't you? Your left foot, yes. Your left foot is definitely the adherence rate to the session loss limit. Do you want to change that? In the next board meeting, I am going to request of Mr. CFO that we change this daily loss limit to something that we can see that is a better idea. But right now, let's just continue organizing data and try to adhere to the daily loss limit. Try to risk small to make a certain amount to get slowly to our finish line. But overall, if you can keep doing what you're doing, if you can continue trading and making 20 apples a session, I mean, that's what you want to do, right? That's what we want to do. We just need to control that risk to be able to get there. So all in all, it's a good analysis of what we've got going on. All right. Deuces.
Get used to, but there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Oh, please.
All right, deuces.